Hey, it's hump day.
Oh man. It's a late. It's so late. It's past our bedtime. Really. Raina's got her tea. I don't have any tea. I should have got tea before I came down here. Well, oh no. Is that the internet signal telling us? Oh man.
I don't
I
see
see.
it.
Okay. Well,
Oh, is it late on land?
we'll pretend it's not happening.
There's always something about a countdown when you put the countdown up that's like,
Stresses
does
you
it
out.
naturally give you like a little nerves when you see a countdown? Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we're happening. Let's do it again.
Wow, that one was fancy.
I like that one. We'll use that one because I think the other one's 30. First of all, I had one that was 2 minutes. That's way stressful because it's like, what am I doing for 2
Yeah,
minutes?
I didn't like that one at all. This one was good though. This
Yeah,
one, I
that's a
didn't
10
mind.
second. I'm gonna use that one from now on. I'll remove the other one. Anyways, to the show. We have a great show today. We're talking about dark mode. I love dark mode. Dark mode is where a site there's dark mode and light mode. So dark mode for me, I have my phone on dark mode, I have my computer on dark mode. Sites can respect that or not and show their site in dark mode, or the phone or apps and things that are on your phone can respect it. Some don't, but we're talking about dark mode, how to enable it, the pros and the cons of dark mode. How many times I'm going to say dark mode on this? I can't even imagine. And whether or not you should use it and how to use it. So let's get on with it. Unless you want, let's talk about today. Hump day, as you said. It's a late
Oh,
day. We're watching Olympics and doing other client things today. So we had to come in late, but we're still here
yeah,
for
what
you.
did we do this morning? We had a lot going on. It just, like, blew right by.
Yeah. What did we do this morning? We got pho. We definitely got pho today.
I feel like we did something else, but,
Yeah.
anyways, we've been on project mode, so,
Yeah.
trying to fit in these lives when we can, but we definitely appreciate everybody who tunes in, comments, likes. We appreciate all the love and support.
And shares. But yeah,
Cheers.
anything really. Or yeah, all of the above or any of the above. I wanted to say that today is a fun fact of music. One of my favorite Christina Aguilera songs, which I am convinced that that was our son's first word, Christina Aguilera. Genie in a Bottle was released today in 1999, the year I graduated high school.
That's a
Great.
great song, yeah. I remember that song.
Now I'm going to perform it,
Hit.
but in an interpretive dance.
No, I'll do the dance and you perform.
Okay. Genie in a bottle. No, but yeah, that's a great song, Christina Aguilera. We had a couple fun music facts, but I think that's the main one we should stick with. Today, I think it was today or tomorrow, but I actually wrote another one for tomorrow. But I think today was the day that Michael Jackson went out with the baby on the hotel lobby, the balcony, and dangled the baby. That was today
Oh,
too.
I still actually I think I watched that over and over again, like, I saw that on the news. They were really
Did you?
showing that more than once. Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
a clear memory in my head, like, he had his handkerchief over his mouth or something, and while
yeah.
he was doing it, wrapped in a blanket. It was really
That's
weird. Glad the
weird.
baby's okay.
Yeah. Wait, isn't that Paris?
I thought it was apple, I don't know.
It is. I think it is.
One of
Let
the
me.
kids is a fruit, I think.
It's a what?
I thought one of his kids' names are a fruit.
Oh. Yeah, maybe. I think it's Paris though. Well, one of them. Mother dangles baby out a window by wrist. Michael Jackson moment. Dangles his baby over. What is the baby's name?
That's so
Jack
scary.
apologizes. Yeah, they're like, oh, son. I don't know. Who cares? It's crazy. Balcony baby turns 15. Oh, it is a him.
This is related to dark mode because it was a dark moment We were all scared for a hot 3 seconds.
Yeah, I was scared. We're all scared for the dark moment in Prince's life. That's his son. Remember, he named his son Prince.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, he had a daughter named Paris. Huh. Well, that
Interesting.
happened, I guess, a while
Today.
ago. Yeah, back in the day. So we're going to be talking about dark mode, not Michael Jackson today. We can save the Michael Jackson for another time. He had a lot of great songs. What a guy in many different ways.
Can we not talk about Michael Jackson? That's not a good topic.
I
But,
know.
anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, back to dark mode. Um, so yeah, we thought about this topic really because it is something that we come across. We've seen in certain industries that they use dark mode versus having a lighter site. I think it really depends. There's two ways to look at this. It's on a design standpoint. You look at it, but then also functionality in the sense of readability and making it easier if people are spending a long time on a site, easier on the eyes. And what I was saying, which I think Tony mentioned yesterday, was on certain sites that have heavy content, gamer sites, you'll notice that there's a darker theme on it. So, whenever you're deciding on whether you go light mode, there's a lot of factors. Tony will get into that. But it's always good to check for readability. And there's a tool out there that you can use for like contrast to make sure it's not too much of a high contrast, because that also will actually hurt your eyes if you do pure black, you know?
Yeah, I think Wave, the extension, will do a contrast check. That's an ADA compliance Chrome browser extension that looks and it says there's warnings, there's errors, there's things that should be fixed. And if things are not on the right contrast or even too bright of a contrast, it will alert you. I did want to show that even my code editors in dark mode, I can't imagine people that use the light text editor. They seem crazy to me. You know, this is way more beautiful. I mean, I can, let's see, can I switch it to, let's see, theme. Oh God, I've never even switched it. Light mode, where's light? Ah, right?
Wow, that's a big
Come on.
difference. No?
Yeah, I know this is probably an extreme version. It's actually called contrast mode, ironically. Where's my, yeah, this is mine. So, yeah, everything I have.
As soon as you change it, like your eyes relax.
Yeah, exactly. This is how I like to use it. This is actually for a site that we're working on right now for Sandcat Textiles. This is my SAS file. Let me get that off. But yeah, everything, dark mode, everything for me personally. It's like Jay-Z where he says all black, everything. The ones that don't have dark mode on apps, I wind up deleting them sometimes. Even Notes has a dark mode now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, everything. So dark mode. Let's go over some of the pros of dark mode. I just want to say what?
Did you get the Star Wars
Yeah,
background?
no.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
gonna
no.
get it. I'll get it now while you go over some of the pros of dark mode.
All right. So with dark mode, we kind of spoke about it, but it does reduce eye strain. So it helps reduce it with the low light conditions. Your eyes can relax and it's easier to digest what's on the page. Um, that's one pro. And then another one, energy savings. So I guess it can save battery life, which I didn't realize. Tony had these tips here. Enhanced focus. There's been studies out showing that a darker interface can help users focus on content better without distractions from bright backgrounds.
Yeah, just like you saw on that code editor. Like as soon as it went, you're able to focus. The other one's chaotic. It's like crazy looking.
Yeah, so that there are studies behind that, so that's good. Aesthetic appeal. Many users find dark mode visually appealing and modern. And let me speak on that just for a little bit.
Yeah.
I do see that for restaurants, high-end restaurants. We have a client who has a high-end restaurant. It's only open after hours, and it's kind of this gives it this, like, luxurious and also like kind of luring people in, like what's over there, and everything's pretty much dark and it's a dark theme.
Can I pull
So
it up?
that's where, yeah, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Um, it really depends on the industry. Some people don't want like okay, I'll give you an obvious example. A nursing home, you don't want to you don't want to have the dark mode, you know what I mean? Like that's not something that you have to read your audience and it has to be a tone that matches. But
Yeah,
for this,
and on the other side of the, nursing home, I feel like, you can go too white, and the fading away really gives that other side of it, like
heavenly.
yeah. So, I don't know, I guess going either way, dark or light could be, at fault, you know?
Mhm.
This is the site Raina was talking about. It says coffee, oysters, and champagne, but they have this secret back room that you need a password to get into. Don't ask us for the password. It's on our lives that we won't tell it. But it's the same theme. So it looks like a completely different site. But I used my own method of dark mode. There's no switcher that's going to say dark and light. We are able to do that, but we have not come to a client that has specifically asked for it and has the need for it. I feel like not every site needs it, especially if it's a smaller site, but this one has its own version of a dark mode. Sorry to cut you off. Just wanted to show it while I
Yeah,
was.
so this is just an example of how it matches their tone. This is what they're looking for. Nightlife, it's dark, only having very dim photos, and it works. It works for the industry, it works for their business and who they're looking to attract to the nightlife. So it really, really depends. There's a pure need for it if people are reading content. There's also pure aesthetics on whether you wanna go dark mode.
Yeah, it does give its own vibe for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, like compared to this, it's like, wow, and then, oh, so it's funny what colors can tell, and just in terms of um, conveying a message, really. Because obviously, this is happiness. Not to say this is sadness, but it's definitely mysterious.
Yeah, or even day and night, because that one is open during the day, and this one's
Right,
at nighttime, so
that's a better one. I like that.
it's kinda like, more literal.
Yeah. Let good versus evil. I had this screen open just to show, like, on Gmail, I have it also, of course, dark mode, but look how different it is, you know? And I guess I get the whole it's cleanliness, the white on the left, but you just get that darkness. And darkness makes me wanna work. The other one makes me wanna look away from the computer, go garden.
Yeah. The the light one makes my eyeballs burn.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
like, when your eyes are just it's too bright. So you
yeah,
actually have to change your lightness on your computer. If I have a bright especially at nighttime, I would have to, like, lower my computer screen.
yep. I was gonna actually show on the computer where to change that, but I don't know where that is. There's somewhere around here that has dark dark noise, dark appearance. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, right here, obviously, this is not a tutorial on how to turn on dark mode, but maybe it is. On settings, what do you get there? Right here, you see light, dark, and auto. This is a Mac, but I believe PCs have the same ability. And if not, sorry. But
Google it.
yeah, let me Google it. Light, dark, auto. Auto will just kind of default to whatever the app or whatever they want. Light and dark will default to whatever you want. So I keep mine. And you can also change the accent color too, which is good for some apps that respect that demand. It says like our things that are highlighted will be in green, whatever your favorite color is. I have mine as multicolor. So remove that again.
Alright.
Yes.
So,
Want to go over the cons of dark mode?
yeah, so there are definitely cons. There could be readability issues, especially if you're going the complete opposite and have it so the blackest it could be. It needs to be a proper contrast or else it's gonna suffer on that end. Inconsistency. Websites may look inconsistent if not all the elements are in dark mode. So you want to make sure visually that it makes sense and you're not just gonna make it unevenly contrast on one page and then light on the other. I know the example we showed you is kind of like that, but it's a little bit different because they're two different companies. So it depends on the type of branding. Design challenges. So making sure that the overall design is, I'm trying to read this point and I
Yeah,
was trying to not accessibility because if you're in dark mode on mobile, how is it gonna look like
yeah, I think
why
what
why
this
would there be accessibility issues if it's on mobile? I'll ask
I
Tony.
think yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, even not on mobile, on desktop. So if you say you turn on dark mode on your website, and all it really does is make the background black, buttons that you're not accounting for that maybe were dark before will then have some sort of obviously contrast issue because you can't see the dark button on the dark background, you know? So I
Oh,
think that's
I
what it's saying.
see. Yeah,
Because there are if you say the background, you have to account for other things, and I will show you that in a second on a code pen that I was doing, but I think that's what it's talking about.
yeah, that makes sense. Because when you think about it, how many times so you're looking at a desktop, the button is actually on a white background, but then when everything gets smaller, things shift, and it might now be on black, which you wouldn't
Mhm.
be able to see. So, yeah, that makes total sense what that point is.
Yeah, and
Uh,
there's another thing. I was thinking about this the other day when you said dark mode that like on the signatures, email signatures, there is a way to do it, but a lot of people's email signatures come in weird because I have my set on dark mode, my email, Apple Mail, and they might have dark text. And there is a way, which we'll show you in a second with CSS and other things, to say if this is dark mode, show the text as light, else show it as dark. So I'm just saying because I've seen a few that they specifically state that the text is black, and on mine, on my email, it's a background of like 111, so you can't read the text. Just throwing that out there. Picture
mhm.
your signatures. Yeah, and then the other con was adaptation. So pretty much, if your site was always light and you have visitors go into a dark, might be too much of a stark contrast, literally and and metaphorically speaking, for a user saying, "Oh no, what side am I on? What is this?" So, I think releasing it with some sort of toggle, if you're going in that direction, to allow someone to go back and forth, and also make that toggle visible enough where they could say, "I only like the old site look," then that's probably the best way to go. You know? You want me to show my code pen?
Yeah, let's move on to the demo.
Cool. That's not my code pen. My code pen is the settings screen on. It's weird that you can't. I wish I could just switch the screen over, but it doesn't let me do that. So, a couple things I wanted to talk about here. What Raina said about the stark contrast of black on white. Right now, we're looking on the left side. This is the HTML. So, pretend this is the browser. This is the code over here. The background color that I currently have, let me turn my brightness up, not that that will matter on your screen, is 131313, which is my default off black. But you can see here, if I switch it to 00000, you will get black on white, which looks disgusting. It looks so amateur, you know? So when you're doing sites, to keep it something like 111, see that difference right there? I don't know if you could tell on the screen. Um, but
I can
it'll
see.
you can see it, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, to give that difference, so it's not so rah, too bold, which is that's what we do when we do dark mode. Even that the site we showed earlier, it's not pitch black, it's off. So what we're showing here is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the most basic example of dark mode. Obviously, websites are more complicated, but this basic example is pretty much how I did the Atois, the site that we showed earlier. It adds a class to the body, and then all the elements that are under that, under the cascade, which is CSS cascading style sheets, follow alongside the rules that you set up. So This one, very simple example again, just has a body element. It says dark mode on it, which is the default mode. It has an H1 that shows the title and a button which is going to toggle. And on this button click right here, it's going to run a function called toggle dark light. And that function is defined down here. And that pretty much says find the body, get the body class name. If it's dark mode, make it light. And if it's light, make it dark. So in the CSS, I have another style that says on the body light mode, show these colors. On the body dark mode, show these colors. And these colors are defined up here. That was a long sentence. So when you click toggle me, you'll see, bam, it goes crazy, right? It toggle me again. So what it's doing is saying the body class for this whole page is light mode, dark mode, and then everything else just follows suit underneath this. So if it's light mode, then all the links become dark and the button becomes dark with a light color. And same thing on the opposite, dark mode. The other cool thing, which I found last night, this is saying, which I'm going to uncomment in a second, but this is a media query that says, the browser that's viewing this web page, do they prefer dark mode? That's me. So you would know, yeah, obviously it's blue, but I just want to show the example. It's pretty cool. It's saying, does this browser person prefer a dark color scheme right here? If so, do whatever I tell you inside of this. That's a media query. Usually we use media queries for mobile responsiveness, but there's a lot of other things you could do based on the height, the width, the container, and obviously color scheme. I think there's a lot more. One time I looked at the list and I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize like things with languages, right to left, if they, if they're from an Arab country, how to display blocks, because you don't want to go left to right if they're used to a certain way of reading too, So this was my example. It looks horrible. Let me comment that
Wow,
out.
that blue is like
It's really gross, right?
really hard on the eyes. That's an example of what not to do.
I know. Here,
It's
I
the
remember
blue
our
is like really not passing readability.
I know color. Oh, that's the wrong one. Go FBC900. It's our brand yellow color.
That's really bright too.
I know it's really good. We want the whole site to be like black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Let me
All
get back.
right, that's cool. That's cool to know that that is something that can be done
Yeah.
and can take into account people's preferences. That does go with user experience, and if it's possible, it will improve user experience if you have that on there. I think the people like you who love dark mode and would appreciate that on any website. So it's
Yeah.
not that stark contrast.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because you could do one-offs. We were talking about this earlier. Like we build sites, and that's great. I like building sites from ground up, but we love to fix sites too. And that type of media query can be dropped in any site. So if your site looks weird on a certain, like maybe you are in dark mode, or you just want to experiment with it, you can drop that kind of code in without a full rebuild and test it out, and say, let's see what it looks like. Whether you're on WordPress, you could do the customizer or a more fancy way, or anything, Drupal, anything that's going to accept HTML and CSS. So, but definitely a great way to test it out is CodePen. I love CodePen. I'm in there every day. I have a pro account. It's really cheap too. It's like 40 a year or something, but it lets you save, fork things, create groups. We're not affiliates, so it doesn't matter if you get it or not. But I love it. It's like my favorite tool.
Yeah,
Um,
great resource.
yeah, I see you have some things to consider here, but they seem like they're some of the things that we already went over, so I can go over them so you don't have to repeat yourself.
Okay.
Um, things to consider. Imagine if I talk in a British accent now. Accessibility. Ensure that the color contrast ratios meet accessibility standards for all users, which is, like we said, there's a Chrome browser extension called Wave. Wave, right? Yeah. That'll tell you if there's contrast. I'm sure there's other ones. Figma itself has a plugin that'll show if someone's visually impaired, if they have a cataract, it actually shows the blur and it'll show colorblind and contrast mode. So I'm sure Photoshop has a plugin too, but Figma has that if you're a designer. User preferences allow the users to toggle between light and dark modes. I would say that's great. I've seen it multiple times. I don't see it enough, but definitely apps like Twitter, sorry, X, Facebook has it now. Um, Things that are allowing you to change it are really cool. So websites, it is a lot of work. It's not just like you can. I know there are plugins. I did look this up. There's a plugin that you can just add to a site, like our site, and say now there's a toggle, but it just makes assumptions. It says now everything light will be dark and vice versa. So I would probably stick away with that, and stick to making it from scratch. But like I was saying, there's a lot of work that can go into it, and it's best during the planning mode of a website in the beginning because then you can name things right and have some sort of structure. Otherwise, you're going in and trying to find things.
Yeah, and there's even in the beginning, if you're looking to, let's say, switch, if you have looking to change your theme, I've also seen themes that have light and dark mode more as a norm now than maybe a few years ago.
Yeah.
So they do are having that out of box experience that they'll giving you an option to choose light or dark.
Yep. Facebook did it recently, and I was like, still not using you, Facebook. Content still sucks. And testing. I think a big thing about this, if you are going to this mode of dark mode, then everything has to be tested from thank you pages, inputs, forms, because usually there's something wrong.
Mhm.
Nothing's gonna, it's not like you switch the background and everything's gonna look great. If you had text that's right in the middle, maybe like a gray, and then on black, it's gonna look good. But usually people's texts are dark and buttons are darker, usually, right? If it's gonna be a light background. So testing is a essential part of this. Testing is an essential part of everything. We always say it for everything. If you're updating a site, if you're moving to staging, like you were talking about today, Raina has a class tomorrow. Teacher Raina in the house, or Traina, as I like to call her. But she's teaching Divi. Traina's in the house. She's going through and teaching Divi, two-part class, and they touch on testing and stuff about staging. So, and I feel like we always talk about testing, and it's always a good thing, no matter the smallest change, because sometimes, and a double set of eyes is always good too. Sometimes I don't catch things, and vice versa, where Raina will give me something, I'll say, oh, that, or the other way around, where it says, what about that? Usually it's that way. What
Yeah,
about that?
we do offer WordPress training, and this is a very basic overview to really because there's new members of the organization and they want to know more about the website and even the existing ones. A lot of people, when you're a nonprofit and there's a lot of hands-on volunteers and things like that, but they have their little breakout groups and there's a technology group and they really want to understand now that they have a new website how to use it. So we put together a three-part class. So we have class 1 starts tomorrow and then we have two other future classes to go over how to do certain things on the site. So really excited. It's bringing back Teacher Raina.
Teacher
But
Raina?
yeah, so if anyone needs any training or anything like that, it's something that Tony and I that is part of our services.
Yeah, I love to teach. My second or third job was a piano teacher. I think I told you that. I probably said it on the live stream before, but I enjoyed it until this kid came in and started playing piano like a nut, and I was like, "That's it. Not this is not for me." He was great, but I really enjoyed the teaching process of it, and I do enjoy teaching. I want to say code because that's a little different, but technology. I think we've been in it for so long that we can really dumb it down to a layman term. And if you don't understand, I'll understand. You don't understand, and break it down into common sense stuff. I feel like a lot of teachers don't do that. We've been to some classes where like, and then you lost everybody. So Raina does a great job at teaching. I'm okay, but
Well, we do different types. So most of what we do when we launch a site is afterwards we provide training on how to use it. And sometimes it's just over a video, either live or we do if it's easier, we'll record ourselves going through and do the tutorial and send it over. So it really depends what the clients need, but this particular client of ours wants an in-person experience, so that's where we'll go in and well, I'll go in and teach and that way. So whatever option works best for whatever the client needs.
Yeah, digital is cool, but yeah, nothing like in person. Raina even printed out physical pieces of paper. So
As an agenda, that's always good to have. You gotta know your audience too, so
know your audience. You should sign them. You want to
art
sign copy?
auto audit,
Hey,
what is it called?
um,
Your audit I can't
autograph. Autograph. Your
autograph, autograph.
autograph. Some people call it your John Hancock because the guy that signed the Constitution. Don't quote me.
Oh gosh, we're see, this is what happens when we do our lives at the end of the
I know.
day.
I
I
start doing
forget
the pledge.
words,
Do you want to see if I can remember the Pledge of Allegiance? Let me see. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Thank you. And you want to know why we have the Star Wars background?
'cause we're in dark mode.
Dark mode. Yeah, Raina related it to like Darth Vader and like the dark side and the light side. So I'm personally on the dark side of web. Like I said a million times now. If it's light, even this app right here that we're using, StreamYard to stream, it's all bright. I hate it. It's just no dark. I want to go in and edit it. Maybe I can make, you can actually, you can make a Chrome extension to edit the CSS of any page. And when you're on that page, it'll use that CSS. So I could literally make the body black and just relax a little bit because it's just too much.
Yeah, I think I wanna do a poll on LinkedIn and see what everyone else prefers, light or dark mode
It's a good idea.
after we're done here. Just put it out there and kinda I'm just curious, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good idea. I don't have anything else to say about dark mode. I have nothing to show, nothing to say. I have my dark shirt on today for dark mode. I was gonna be in the complete darkness. We can kind of turn that out. There we go. This is actually
Yeah,
better.
now you are in dark mode.
I am
Now
in.
I'm in light and you're in dark. Maybe I should brighten it up. Well, this is as bright as it goes.
Oh, you're in red mode.
All right. So, yeah, I think we covered everything. Ooh, that's making me want a latte now.
I know. I want affogato.
Mm.
Affogato. Yeah, we covered everything. Today is Wednesday. Let's pull up the schedule, even though we mislabeled the day. We have on tomorrow WordPress training. We're talking about WordPress training tomorrow. How ironic. So after Raina's Raina training,
Don't
we're going to be talking about WordPress training with Trainer Raina, teacher Raina.
trainer, Raina.
Trainer Rainer. Yeah. Hey, do you know I have a be right back screen? Check this out. We'll be right back. We're in the green room. We never used it yet, though. Hey, we're doing good with the internet. We should probably just wrap it up before this thing haunts
Yeah,
us.
I'll
All right.
just
Let's bring Raina in, my beautiful wife, for a final word today, if you're ready.
oh, I'm not really ready. Let me see.
Okay, well, I'll take you off. I'll do a final word. Dark mode, people. We need to destroy the light mode. No.
Okay, I have something.
I'm not good at this. I would just be mumbling for like 20 minutes.
Well, this is more of just I have my book here. I'm just gonna read out of it. I think
Okay,
it's relatable.
let's get back to you.
Yeah, I have my coffee bean book. So I'm just gonna go here, open it up, and see where we land. Today's message of the day is to put in the work. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do things you've never done. So maybe this relates to today about trying something new and, exploring with dark mode, seeing if it works for your audience. and kind of measuring the results. And overall in life, you have to try new things and setting those goals and see where you kind of end up. It's all about accountability and trying something new. And it
Beautiful.
kind of relates to Olympics too. Put in the work.
Yeah.
Every time I watch it, I'm like, they're putting in so much work.
Yeah. The male gymnasts today weren't putting in as much work as the other one, the females.
Oh, man.
Down.
I feel so bad. Everyone had a rough day on the men's gymnastics today.
Yeah. We haven't finished it, so we're gonna get back to that maybe later.
Yeah.
We've started it like 4 times today, but haven't finished it because other things have come up. All right. Oh, what I was gonna say when you said about the, try it out, you can A/B test dark mode on your own website pretty easily with classes, just like I showed. You contact us if you have questions, you wanna see if it works. You can say 50% of the people see this, 50% of the people say, let's see where the conversions go and make it so from there, you know? So it is possible. You don't gotta make that change, that drastic, dramatic change for everybody. You can see if it works first. So
Yeah,
beautiful
that's a
final word. Great show. Just patting ourselves on the back. Great show. Great show, Tony. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll play us out with some music, unless you have anything else to say for exiting.
No, that's it. Everyone have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yep, we will. This music selection is. Do you know what it is? Let me put it up. You don't know this song.
Wait, hold on.
It was like Halloween. We actually talked about the name of the band we talked about yesterday. What's that actually? And you're on the Typo negative. Yeah.
Type O negative?
Yeah, Typo Neck, he's dead. Oh man, he was such a good singer. The song's called Black Number One, and it's about a girl who dyes her hair black and she goes out in the rain. I mean, it's not all about that, but he says like you dye your hair with black number one, you know, the black number one dye. And she goes out in the rain and it's running down. It's like a Halloween song. It's really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sounds Halloweeny.
Yeah. All right. Have a good day, everybody. See you tomorrow. I don't have anything.